Tamil Nadu Governor breaches new red line, sacks minister, order kept on hold after outrage. Now, this is what it says. After Chief Minister says will move court against order, late night message from Raj Bhavan will seek legal advice. Despite Supreme Court's caution on a governor's role, Ravi tests his limits. These are the two part of the stories that is there. But let me bring in the story as it had taken place last night. In an unprecedented move, Tamil Nadu Governor RN Ravi on Thursday evening dismissed Min Senthil Balaji from the Council of Ministers, further straining the relationship between MK Stalin-led DMK government and the Raj Bhavan. Balaji also was arrested on June 14th by the Enforcement Directorate for an alleged job scam in 2015. Is currently in judicial custody in a private hospital after having undergone a heart bypass surgery. Late Thursday night, a source in the Chief Minister's house said that the state government had received a communication from the Raj Bhavan that governor's dismissal order was on hold pending legal advice. Now, however, confirmation from the Raj Bhavan was in fact awaited on this matter. Giving reasons for dismissing Balaji with immediate effect, the Raj Bhavan said in a statement there are reasonable, I'll just continue from the pages it has in fact taken out to be, there are reasonable apprehensions that continuation of Guv Senthil Balaji in the Council of Ministers will adversely impact the due process of law including fair investigation that may eventually lead to breakdown of constitutional machinery in the state. Now, the governor's action prompted swift response from Tamil Nadu Chief Minister MK Stalin. When asked about his dismissal, Stalin told the reporters very simply, he doesn't have those powers to dismiss the minister. We will face it legally. So this is a line of contention that has erupted overnight in what could become a defining moment in the political history of this country, where probably, if this goes to the court, the powers of the governor will be completely defined vis-a-vis to the powers of the Chief Minister and the Council of Ministers, and what is the role of the governor. These are the things that will be taken into consideration when this is going to happen. Now, let us in fact take a look at some of the other issues that have been raised. Well, the Indian Express was also explaining about this. Despite Supreme Court's caution on a governor's role, Ravi tests the limits. That is what is being written in the Indian Express. It says in its explained session as well that Tamil Nadu Governor RN Ravi's decision Thursday dismissing arrested Minister Min Senthil Balaji tests the constitutional limitations on the role of the governor and pushes Raj Bhavan into uncharted political territory. Article 164(1), which is the article that defines the powers on this, this is what it states. Article 164(1) of the Constitution states that the Chief Minister shall be appointed by the Governor and other ministers shall be appointed by the Governor on the advice of the Chief Minister, and the ministers shall hold office during the pleasure of the Governor. Now, this is something that is open to interpretation, because this word that has been used, especially with regards to the minister holding office, like he shall hold that office during the pleasure of the governor, basically to say that the governor will have the idea to decide whether he should continue or not based on whether the governor seems fit. This is what one interpretation of it is. Now, I'll go to the further part on this. However, in line of a Supreme Court, now it's not that this particular portion of Article 164(1) has not been interpreted. This is how the Supreme Court is in fact speaking on it. However, a line of Supreme Court rulings have interpreted that the power of the governor primarily flows from the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. In Shamsher Singh versus State of Punjab, 1974, ruling of a 7-judge constitution bench of the Supreme Court said that a governor must exercise formal constitutional powers only upon and in accordance with the aid and advice of their ministers, save in a few well-known exceptional situations. These exceptions relate to dismissal of a government that has lost its majority, the decision to invite a party to form the government, both circumstances where the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers is unavailable or reliable. So the pleasure of the governor is understood to flow from the fact that the government enjoys majority on the floor of the House. Now, this is how we in fact see this. So, two things. What is 164(1)(a) that defines that it is the governor who appoints the chief minister, and on the advice of the chief minister, you appoint the council of ministers. But again, the Supreme Court interpreting it with riders, and especially in the case of Samsher Singh versus State of Punjab in 1974 ruling. Now, this ruling was given by a 7-judge constitution bench of the Supreme Court, and this is what it had in it. The most importantly, these exceptions relate to dismissal of a government that has lost its majority, the decision to invite a party to form the government, both circumstances where the aid and advice of the council of ministers are unavailable or unreliable. Basic to say that the governor can act upon his powers if the council of ministers is not present. Secondly, if that council of ministers does not enjoy the power of having a majority on that floor. So that is when these extraordinary powers of the governor comes into play. So right now it looks like the stage is set for a long drawn battle, a legal battle as well. But right now, with outrage coming in from the DMK and the entire battle on this being relegated to a wait and watch kind of a situation, especially on both the sides, that is from the Raj Bhavan as well as from the DMK alliance in Tamil Nadu. We are in fact trying to understand that how this situation is going to unfold, whether it would be brought to the court as the DMK had said, but then again a wait and watch situation in Tamil Nadu politics right now. That was in fact Senthil Balaji, who was taken to the hospital as he was arrested and by ED for corruption charges, especially when he was an AIA DMK minister then, and he is said to have been involved in cash for jobs scam, especially when it came to the Metropolitan Transport Department, and he is said to have, or rather alleged, and to have been involved in it. And these accusations standing, there was an investigation that was being carried out, and during a midnight arrest that took place, Senthil Balaji was later shifted to the hospital as he complained about chest pain, and later a bypass surgery was conducted on Senthil Balaji. Well, so this is how the situation has been unfolding, and this is how we have the governor's limits being spoken about when it comes to the Indian Express. Now let me take to the paper from Chennai itself, and that is the Hindu. Now what does the Hindu say? The Hindu's headline reads like this: TN governor, in quotes, dismisses minister, backtracks later. Now, RN Ravi communicates to CM's office that his order on Senthil Balaji has been put on hold with immediate effect. Stalin had earlier said that the governor did not have authority to dismiss the minister. In an unprecedented move, Tamil Nadu Governor RN Ravi on Thursday evening unilaterally dismissed with immediate effect arrested Minister V. Senthil Balaji from the Council of Ministers only to hurriedly backtrack. Now, sources in the Chief Minister's office, the MK Stalin's office, this is what they have been able to say on this matter. This is what they said, that Mr. Ravi had communicated that his order dismissing Mr. Senthil Balaji was being put on hold with immediate effect. The governor said that his decision was kept in abeyance. A source privy to the development said, earlier Mr. Stalin told journalists that the governor does not have the authority to dismiss a minister. We will face this legally. In fact, we have that bite when Stalin, in fact, it goes to the press, and immediately the only question, of course, all of them having is that how would you go ahead and, face this kind of a situation that you are facing. So this is the immediate response that he had. Let's listen to it in Tamil. I will translate to you once it is put on air.
அவருக்கு அந்த அதிகாரம் கிடையாது. நான் சட்ட ரீதியாக நாங்கள் சந்திப்போம்.
Well, the BJP meanwhile was reacting to it. We had a BJP leader from Tamil Nadu, Narayan Tirupati, reacting to it. Let's listen to that also.
He has got every right to dismiss because he appoints the ministers. Mr. Senthil Balaji was appointed by the governor and he is dismissed. He has given the reasons as to why he was dismissed. In spite of the Supreme Court's order, judgment, the government has not constituted the team, special investigation team, which was ordered by the Supreme Court. And definitely the governor, morally, legally, has taken a right decision and he has dismissed Mr. Senthil Balaji. People may say that you don't have any precedents. Let everyone keep this as a precedence. Nothing wrong. Mr. Stalin says that he will go to the court. Yes, you have the right to go to court. No problem. Please go. It will be discussed. Mr. Ravi definitely would have consulted everyone. He knows law. Definitely. No problem at all. But whatever happened is for good.
With those explanations regarding as to why this has happened and what is the reason why this has happened. And right now, let me in fact tell you a little bit of this story that is there in the background. See, when it comes to Tamil Nadu, please, we have to in fact understand from the concept of why this has been going on. There have been several instances when the Chief Minister Stalin as well as Governor Ravi has had run-ins. So when the run-ins have been happening between them, it had been on several issues, especially when it comes to Tamil Nadu should be called Tamilnadu, and then we had the issues about how Hindi imposition was spoken about when Raj Bhavan had sent an invite in Hindi and not in Tamil. All these issues have been focusing, and Ravi has also been speaking about the fact that there was no independent idea of a culture. It was later that was in fact built, and that the whole of India had a culture as such, and that Tamil culture was a very prominent culture among Indian culture. So all those aspects of division has been growing between them. Also, this is the latest flashpoint that is coming. Who is Senthil Balaji? Senthil Balaji is a very important leader for the DMK from the Coimbatore region, or Konganad region as we would call it, and there the AIDMK was having a kind of a stranglehold where the BJP is now also trying to grow in that region as well. When it comes to Senthil Balaji, he is considered to be the man who has been able to influence the electoral outcomes in this region. That had facilitated the DMK rather to ensure it got a huge majority in the last assembly elections from this region. It has been a very important what I would call as a very important ability of the party to get Senthil Balaji on its side, especially he had served as an AIDMK minister, and that had been paid with the political acumen that the seats in that region would increase, and it did increase in the last assembly elections. So the DMK's explanation has been this: Senthil Balaji is being targeted. And why? What is the kind of explanation they are giving with regard to Senthil Balaji? Senthil Balaji, they are saying that Senthil Balaji is the person who has moved away from getting any sort of influence from the BJP, has been able to keep BJP in check and the AIDMK also in check in that region. And because he has politically delivered, it is an attempt to ensure that there is a complete access to that region for the AIDMK ahead of the 2024 elections. So this is what in fact, the DMK has explained, while the BJP says that it is the course of law, because we had Annamalai releasing a set of files called as the DMK files. He's been speaking about rampant corruption within the DMK. The DMK, however, has dismissed those CDs on the DMK files, and he said, and the BJP is saying that this is just the course of law that is going ahead, and therefore Senthil Balaji's arrest has nothing to do with politics. It is about a corrupt minister facing the music. Now that is the argument from the side of the BJP. So right now, this division that has happened between the governor as well as the chief minister and the council of ministers is something that has become the point of contention completely in this. My colleague Pankaj, in fact, joins us right now. Pankaj, of course, a big day in Tamil Nadu when we speak about the kind of constitutional crisis that has been precipitated. Most of the papers have it on their front pages, all of them trying to give an explanation about 164(1), what it means, then the Supreme Court trying to interpret that powers as well in a way. But here the BJP said that, it is within the rights of the governor to take this decision. But it clearly says, the Supreme Court clearly says that only if a council of ministers is not there to aid and advise the governor or does not enjoy the majority of the floor on the house, then the governor can go use some of these extraordinary powers. So it is tempered with the fact that it will be an advised action that has to be taken. Here we see that it was not an advised action taken, or let's see how the constitutional experts will interpret it as that. But this is just one of the run-ins that are there. There have been several, points of clashes that have happened between the DMK and Governor RN Ravi. So this being the latest, do you think it's time that the powers of the governor is clearly defined right now, and that of the Council of Ministers as well? Because this issue is not here. The governor versus the government, state government issue is taking place in its neighboring Kerala. We have issues in Telangana as well. And so most of these states have highly opposed opposition parties ruling them, and they are highly opposed to the central BJP. So politically also, it seems that this issue is precipitated.
Well, definitely, Varghese. See, we have been seeing this tussle between RN Ravi and DMK leader and Tamil Nadu Chief Minister MK Stalin for quite some time now. And as you mentioned about the language row, the letter being written in Hindi and all those things, this is something which is not new as of now. But yes, RN Ravi exercising his quote-unquote powers and dismissing a minister who is in the Council of Ministers of MK Stalin, a minister without portfolio. That is something which has come as a shocker, and obviously the DMK would, fight it tooth and nail. Having said that, what do the constitutional powers suggest with that? That you have also, mentioned that the Council of Ministers, the governor basically gives administers oath to the Chief Minister, and then the governor appoints the ministers on the advice of the Chief Minister. Removing them from the Council of Ministers doesn't come under the ambit of the governor. And once this decision came last evening, Varghese, a few hours down the line, it was removed also, and it was said that the governor's office would consult the Solicitor General and then proceed on this regard. Politically, yes, both the parties, BJP and the DMK. Why I say BJP? Because obviously the governor is the representative of the government there. And the tussle has been ongoing for quite some time now. And RN Ravi has also not minced his words when it comes to expressing his discontent and anger with the current dispensation. What has happened also is critical here. And V. Senthil Rajan, obviously, who is facing a barrage of charges and is under ED's custody as of now, had to go bypass surgery. That's why he is in a hospital. 16th of June, he had faced raids, and subsequently he was arrested in an overnight swoop. And that way, the governor at that time, when the Chief Minister had written to the governor, RN Ravi, that since he holds two portfolios, so two new ministers should be appointed. So Governor Ravi ratified that. He gave his assent to it. But soon after, a day after his arrest also, Governor Ravi wanted to remove him from the Council of Ministers, to which the Chief Minister had written to the governor that he doesn't have those rights. But lo and behold, what we had last evening, obviously, Governor Ravi testing the constitutional waters in a way. And now, as most of the newspapers, Varghese, have taken it on the front page, we were expecting that Rahul Gandhi's Manipur trip and the subsequent stopping off his convoy, then the road and flight fiasco, all those things happening. He is still there in Manipur. That would be the front page headlines. That is there on most of the dailies, but has been nudged aside by this particular late evening development. Yes, we'll have to wait and watch what the government suggests, what the Solicitor General's advices to Governor RN Ravi, and then only a very vehement and firebrand, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, MK Stalin, who has been fighting it out tooth and nail against the governor. We'll have to see how does it pan out.
Well, good. Let me just play that bite once again so that our viewers could, in fact, see that anger in which the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu goes ahead and speaks about this. It is a very powerful statement that he, in fact, makes there, saying that looks like he seems to be ready for a long legal battle on this. When the news was in fact announced that there was an order that was sent for Senthil Balaji's dismissal. By the way, Senthil Balaji is still in the Council of Ministers and he's a minister without a portfolio. So let us now in fact listen to that bite. It's in Tamil. We will translate it immediately for you.
அவருக்கு அந்த அதிகாரம் கிடையாது. நான் சட்ட ரீதியாக நாங்கள் சந்திப்போம்.
That was a very simple one-line statement. It says that avarka adhigaram kedayadu, which means to say he has no authority. I will face this issue based on law, and we will probably hinting at that legal battle. Well, the Times of India has also gone ahead and covered it. It's given the statements and the kind of run-ins that I've been talking about. The Times of India has also mentioned it like this: Tamil Nadu Governor dismisses minister, hits pause after outrage. This is this headline that they have put it out, and it says, says Home Minister asked him to seek AG's opinion. Now, this is an interesting development that's happened over here. Tamil Nadu Governor RN Ravi dismissed Minister V. Senthil Balaji from the Council of Ministers with effect, immediate effect. And of course, we know that MK Stalin had raised the issue as well. Now, it is being said that the order has been kept in abeyance. Now, why the order has been kept in abeyance? Because this is what the story says. It has been kept in abeyance because Union Home Minister has asked me to speak and to seek AG's opinion. So this is what government and Raj Bhavan sources have quoted and spoken about it. And Ravi is saying that he is in communication with the Chief Minister on this matter. And some of the small graphics elements that they have put are actually quotes. One with MK Stalin saying, Minister V. Senthil Balaji is facing serious criminal proceedings in a number of cases of corruption, including taking cash for jobs and money laundering. Under these circumstances, Governor has dismissed him with immediate effect. This was an earlier statement that was coming in from Raj Bhavan. Governor doesn't have the right to dismiss a minister. We will face this legally, as the term that we had in fact said. And they've also given an interesting tidbit about who Senthil Balaji is. DMK Minister Senthil Balaji was arrested on June 14th in a cash for jobs case. He was detained as minister without portfolio. On May 31st, Governor RN Ravi wrote to CM asking him to drop Balaji. Stalin replied that CM alone had the power to decide. So Ravi also initially returned the file on reallocation of Balaji's portfolio. So this has been going to and fro when it comes to this, Pankaj. It is not that suddenly this decision was taken. There was already a recommendation that was in fact sent saying that he has to be dropped from the cabinet, and Stalin says that it is up to the Chief Minister to decide whether the minister should remain in the cabinet or in the Council of Ministers or not. And the second time, even the reallocation portfolio, the files, when it was said, he had returned it back. So this has been going on. There's been a to and fro from the CMO as well as Raj Bhavan on this matter. Yesterday's decision was probably when, this pent up shadow boxing just erupted.
Well, yes, speaking about, personality clashes, this is a classic example because RN Ravi, as we have known him, I guess, since last year too, it has been, just wait for a moment.
Well, meanwhile, the Times of India has also spoken to experts, and they have given an opinion as well, just like how the Indian Express has done. What the legal experts whom the Times of India has consulted are saying like this: sacking would have failed legal scrutiny is what the experts are saying. Lawyers cutting across political persuasions called Tamil Nadu Governor RN Ravi's now stalled move to sack DMK Minister Senthil Balaji unconstitutional, high-handed and unprecedented, as it would have failed SC scrutiny. That is what reports have coming in from. They pointed out that the Supreme Court's right from its judgment in SR Bommai case to Shivraj Singh Chauhan in 2020, 1994 cases have categorically ruled that the governor cannot act on administrative matters relating to the state without the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers headed by the Chief Minister. So whatever decision the governor is supposed to take, well, it depends upon the Council of Ministers and the state, the state government itself. So the governor cannot independently act on any of the cases, even to the point of sacking a minister in this case.